Hey guys, what's up? It's Win. Welcome back. Welcome to my 50th video, actually. Kind of a little milestone, but I am proud of it. I started in November, and this is now my third month of YouTube, so 50 videos in 3 months. It's actually quite a lot, and I'm really happy, and I don't think I'm going to slow down anytime soon, so thank you for being there with me and hanging out for all these different videos, and let's jump into this one. So this video is going to be about a pretty cool Zap Bait deck. It's fairly cheap, 3.0. Is pretty good considering how powerful this deck really is. The Inferno Dragon is insanely powerful, and if you can catch your opponent using their zap on the wrong thing, then it's lights out and you're going to take that tower in a matter of seconds. It's crazy. So basically every card can be zapped. We've got Goblin Barrel, Inferno Dragon, Skeleton Army, Spear Goblins, even minions. People will try to zap that, or if you catch them, if they attack first and they try to zap your tombstone, like the little skeletons that come out afterwards. I've seen people doing that, and especially if they do that, it's the green light and you can go in to attack immediately because they use their zap, so they're done. So I found 3 replays. I actually shared them, so I figured, going back into my previous matches and stuff, like, you can kind of see what the opponent has and the score already, so it was like a little bit of a spoiler. So I thought this time I'd switch it up and, leave a little suspense, I guess. So let me know in the comments if you like this method better. So we're just going to check out these 3 replays, but we're not going to be able to see what they are to begin with. So we'll just start in order. We'll go 0, 1, and 2. So what drew me to making this deck was creating this really kind of overwhelming trifecta. It costs 10 elixir, but it's something that your opponent they cannot, they cannot leave it unaddressed. So the trifecta thing that I was trying to create was those 3 first cards: the Goblin Barrel, Skeleton Army, and the Inferno Dragon. You see right there that I'm already gonna punish this guy for using that zap a little too early, and I cut his push in half. You see on the right, he wanted to go in for Ice Golem, he wanted to go minions, and he really couldn't support it with anything else because I forced him to use his Ice Wizard, and I forced him to use his zap in the first place on my Skeleton Army. So now you see that Inferno Dragon melted the tower down to 700 hit points, and that Spear Goblin gets it in down to 666. That's kind of morbid, but nevertheless, that tower's almost gone, and we still have 2 minutes left before the end of the game. So he's going to come in with Elite Barbs. I'm going to go Goblin Barrel. I'm trying to finish that tower off, and you see he used his zap there on the Tombstone, I think it was, or maybe it wasn't Tombstone. I heard a zap, but I don't know where it was. It might have been my Goblin Barrel, actually, because it looks like it didn't get a hit off. But nevertheless, we maybe I don't think I'm running zap. Wow, I got really confused there for a second. I don't know why. But anyway, it's gonna go quiet for a second because we are trying to get to 10 elixir. So I kind of let him get back like 2 elixir because I was really unsure what to do. That Ice Wizard threw me off. I was like, all right, how do I work with this? But anyway, I thought that Fireball was gonna come from my minions. Luckily, it didn't, and he tried to take out my Tombstone. But now, see, he took out my Tombstone because he wants to go Elite Barbs, but he can't. He can't go Elite Barbs because I just went full Skeleton Army, Inferno Dragon on the right side, and there's nothing he could do to stop that. And I get a really good placement here with my Spear Goblins to kind of distract the miner for a little bit. He's going to go Fireball again in the front. See, that was kind of a waste. He's really trying to get my tower down, but at this point, I don't think there's much he can do because his other tower is all the way down to like 112. So I'm going to go Goblin Barrel again. Just keep him, on his toes. He has to zap that, which for him to zap my Goblin Barrel to only save a tower that has 100 hit points, it's kind of a waste of elixir for him. But he's really trying to keep it even here, take that tower if he can. But I mean, I have Fireball, so I'm just kind of wasting time, I guess you could say, and playing a little defense. I put my Tombstone up there. Here comes this miner, but the miner's only going to get 1 hit off before it's the end of the game. So, I think that was a pretty good example of this deck. I got out pretty fast on him. I went Skeleton Army, Inferno Dragon, and there was nothing he could do. He had already started to push on the other side. He had to abandon that push, and my Inferno Dragon melted his tower down to like 700 hit points. And, you know, from there, that's easily chippable. With a Goblin Barrel, with Fireballs, you know, I can focus on defense for the rest of the game because I know I basically have taken his tower. So, anyway, next game. You see, this guy actually has an Inferno Dragon of his own, which is pretty interesting. So, here I go. I got lucky again with that combo up front. He's not running Zap. So, you see, my Goblins get a bunch of hits in. And I think the cool part is, this is really interesting, if you just saw that, the two Inferno Dragons, even though they were basically killing each other the whole time, because they go exponentially, like, more damage, the one will actually have a lot more health than the other when like it kills the other one. So I thought that was kind of weird. But anyway, here he comes with that graveyard, kind of shut that down with that, just an Ice Golem. So he goes Valkyrie, and you see he doesn't have much elixir at this point. So my Goblins get a bunch of hits, but then I kind of realize I put my Tombstone down a little late, so I just throw up the oops and the well played, because his Valkyrie does get like 6 or 7 swings off at my tower, and unfortunately that dumb little mistake leaves me with 1,200 hit points left on that tower, which is not where I want to be right now. But he makes kind of a risky move here. He wants to go full-on balloon, but he goes right down the middle, so both towers are going to shoot at that balloon, and I put up minions anyway. I probably didn't even need to do that. But see, he had a little bit of damage coming to that left tower with those skeletons and those minions, so I forced him to use his Fire Spirits, and I'm kind of burning him really badly right here. Every time he goes Lava Hound, I know that that's a really expensive move for him, so I can full-on attack the other lane, and yeah, his Lava Hound gets in, and look, it attacks so slowly that it doesn't really do a terrible amount of damage, so my Inferno Dragon just gets left. I don't know if he didn't see it or what, but I picked up that left tower with the Ice Golem to make sure that it wouldn't kill my Inferno Dragon too quickly, and that Inferno Dragon lit that King Tower up, and that was game over for him, which is kind of a good trick, I guess, if I had any advice to give when playing against a Lava Hound deck. Just know that a Lava Hound itself isn't that big of a threat. If like there's only 20 seconds left in the game, let's say it's a close game, and you see your opponent use the Lava Hound like in the back of their end, you can just completely forget about it and just attack and everything, because if you know you can win without trying to address their Lava Hound, I would say do it, because that Lava Hound is so slow. When it gets in and attacks, it only does like 40 damage every little fireball thing, so you can easily just like wait them out and the game will end before the Lava Hound is actually a real threat. So that's kind of what I did there. I just said, alright, I'm going to attack, I'm going to go full Inferno Dragon, I'm going to melt your tower, and your Lava Hound is just going to sit there and not do too much. So anyway, next replay. This is a fun one. You see, this guy's got Sparky. I always love playing against Sparky decks, because Sparky is one of those cards where you either get completely destroyed or you completely shut them down. There's really no two ways about it, because Sparky's so overpowered, but also so easily distracted. So you see, I split my skeleton army. Still kind of a zap bait. Enough skeletons went to the side. And the Inferno Dragon, he picks it up at the last second with Barbarians. And I almost get a good push on the left, but he kills my Ice Golem, unfortunately. So I kind of had the Goblin Barrel queued up like early, but he just got it off with that Sparky to kill my Ice Golem. So kind of erased my push on the left there. But anyway, I get it down to 1,800 hit points. A pretty decent amount of damage considering how well I had to come back and try to stop those Barbarians. I actually pulled that one Barbarian over with those Spear Goblins. So he puts the Princess down, and if you actually let the Princess walk forward, you know, a few steps, and then shoot at your tower, you can kill him with minions. Even though minions are weak to Princess, once she's distracted, you know, you can basically take her out. So see, Inferno Dragon melts that Dark Prince. That was crazy, and gets a few seconds on that tower, just enough that it started to go pretty like exponential with its attacks. So I get it down to 1,500. It's pretty cool. You can start seeing it, you know, like 10, 10, 10, 20, 20, 20, 50, 50, like 200, and all of a sudden the tower is just like gone. So again, Skeleton Army kills the Princess. Even though Skeleton Army is weak to Princess, if you put it down at the right time, it can kill her. So that was pretty good. And these minions sneak in there and get a few hits off too. So just like in the other replay, I'm starting to realize, hey, I'm winning by a lot here, so I can just kind of focus on defense, and I know he's got Sparky. So you see, I've got that tombstone kind of queued up because I was gonna put my tombstone in whichever lane he decided to go Sparky, because tombstone's a great counter for Sparky. Every single one of those little skeletons is gonna cause that Sparky to use its attack and then have to recharge. And so even if you don't have Zap in your deck, if you use something like Tombstone, you know, there's a lot of different ways you can counter Sparky. But here I come again with a ton of different targets trying to bait out his Zap. But you see, he had to use Fireball actually to kill that Goblin Barrel, which is pretty good for me because that was a 1 elixir like trade that I got off of him. Because Fireball costs 4, so even though my Goblins didn't get a very good attack on that, I did draw out his Fireball. So. And you see on the left, I'm just trying to suppress his Princess, make sure he can't, you know, get any chip damage off of that. And his Fireball comes a little late, and he misses my Goblins there. I think he was trying to hit my minions or Inferno Dragon or something, but Goblin Barrel takes care of that. So I think actually that was a 1-0 win, a 2-0 win, and a 3-0 win. So that was pretty cool for those 3 replays. But anyway, it is a fun deck. It's not necessarily, I'm not advocating for it to be like the best Zap Bait deck ever, but I did have a cool idea, and I was thinking, what if you could put together a Zap Bait deck that had the Inferno Dragon in it? Because that would be so crazy powerful if you can get your Inferno, if you can get your Inferno Dragon in, like you saw in those replays. It just completely melts the towers. But anyway, leave a thumbs up and a subscribe if you want to see more videos like this. I've got, you know, some serious videos on my channel of like some pretty good decks. I've also got some not so serious videos of some decks that are just, you know, complete crazy random like mixed match decks, and it's a lot of fun to check those out. But let me know if you actually try this out and how it works for you, and maybe you have any like improvements for it, because I'm, you know, like I said, it's not the best deck ever, so there could be some improvements. I know I definitely went through a few iterations of this deck before I finally, you know, put together a good one and made a video about it. But it is a lot of fun, it is pretty powerful, and yeah, Goblin Barrel, it's a pretty sneaky card that not a lot of people use. So anyway, thank you so much for watching, and as always, I'll see you next time.